So, how's it look, huh?
Yeah, it looks good.
You rolling?
Yep,
You're
rolling.
rolling. Okay, so, Nelson, first of all, tell us your name and who you are and where you're from.
My name is Nelson Torres. I'm 58 years old. I was born and raised in New York, in Queens, New York.
Very good. So let's deal with the elephant in the room. Let's talk about just first of all, what's your medical condition?
I have Parkinson's for 5 years.
Okay, and how are you doing with that now?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a little advanced, but I'm okay.
And are have your doctors given you medications to help you with all of this?
Yes,
Okay, so you would say my doctors have given me.
my doctors have given me medication to calm the tremors and everything down.
Good. And how did you react when you found out about the diagnosis?
It was a shock to
Okay,
me.
so start by saying when I found out about the diagnosis. See what I'm saying? Like so that people they're not going to hear my question, so they need to know what we're talking about. And if you guys are gonna talk, you have to be quiet because we pick that up. Okay.
Yeah. Hi.
Honey,
Let me repeat that question for you, Nelson. So, what was your reaction when you found out about that diagnosis?
when I found out diagnosis of Parkinson's, I was just flabbergasted. I was scared, and because people die of Parkinson's disease, but I know I'm strong and I'm not going nowhere.
Good for you. That's good. That's a good attitude to have. What do you attribute that good attitude towards?
A lot of hard work, a lot of willpower.
Willpower. Good for you. So, that's not the only traumatic thing that's happened in your life. Tell us about the most traumatic day you've had.
The most traumatic day that I ever had in my life was 9/11. But, both of my parents were killed in 9/11 in the first tower. I remember that day extremely well.
What was happening that day? Where were you? What went on that you happened to witness this yourself firsthand? Correct.
Yes,
All right. So tell us about that day.
it, uh, it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Both of my parents had a stock meeting at the office, and it started around 7:30, 7:40. And I called my I called my mom like I always do every morning, and She asked me if I had breakfast. I said no, but I'm on my way to you guys at the office because I want to see you. She said, no problem, just come. Don't drive to the office, just take a cab. So took cab, and my mom goes to me, just remember, baby, that we all love you and we care for you. Just remember that mommy loves you. I was like, you know, when you feel a mother's intuition, and she said, don't worry, you're going to be set for the rest of your life. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? What's going on? And it was 8:30 in the morning, and the sky was kind of a little blurry that morning, right? And I got out the cab 2 blocks away from the Twin Towers, and I was turning on my cigarette because I smoked, and in the cab you can't smoke cigarette. And while I was walking to the tower, it was about 8:40, and at 8:45 in the morning, that's when the first tower hit. And that's the last I heard of my mom. My mom was on the 97th floor. The first plane hit the 98th floor. And all three and all 3,000 people between both floors were killed. And my mother and father were one of them. My mom jumped out the window. And when she hit the pavement, there was a truck. And my mom's head was found a few blocks away. My mom had no legs. Her body was completely decapitated because it was burned too much. It took over 2 years to identify her. My dad, He was burned to recognition. They found him a year later under the rubble in, in the third level parking lot. And ask me if I miss him. You damn right I do.
What what did your mom and dad do that they were there in the World Trade Center? What were they? Why were they there?
My dad owned his own stock and municipal bonds company. My dad's company was a World Trader stock company for Wall Street. My dad was a stockbroker and a real estate investor.
So at the time that your mom and dad died, um, what were you doing for a living? Were you working for them? Were you working in your own job? What was that? What were you doing at that point?
I was working for my dad in real estate. I just didn't go to work that day.
Do you know why?
Because I was too tired from the night before, because the night before this happened, we were all at a charity function.
Now, you said before that you were born and raised in Queens. Is that correct?
That green.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about growing up. You have siblings. You know, what was life like growing up?
Growing up at the beginning were cool every day. My brothers, I have two brothers and two sisters. And it was nice and cool to a certain point.
So, so you said it was nice and cool to a certain point. Are you the youngest, the oldest, the middle child?
The youngest,
You're the youngest, and there were five of you,
two boys and two girls.
right? And so you're the youngest. You're the baby in the group.
Yes,
You're the baby of the group. Um, did your siblings work for your parents as well?
no.
What did they do?
My brother, the sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, he a commander or something like that. My sister was one of the U.S. attorney assistant to the U.S. attorney of the state of New York. And my other sister, sister's an attorney, a federal attorney.
Wow, that's impressive. Now, what about your other brother? You said you had two brothers. One brother was in the Air Force. What about the other brother?
The, the other brother is a sergeant in the police department.
In the police department. So a lot of law enforcement there.
Hmm.
Okay, but you're the only one that kind of stuck to the family business,
Yes,
right? Okay. So how do you get along with your siblings?
We don't, one of my sister, like, one of my sister, Patricia, she's doing 9 years now in federal prison.
The attorney.
Yes.
What was that for?
She got caught embezzling and stealing from the trust.
Your parents' trust. Okay.
That's now my trust.
Okay. So let me see if I can just sort of synopsize this a little bit. So you have five. You have four siblings. Two of your siblings are lawyers, and two are in one form of law enforcement or another.
Mm-hmm.
One sibling, is she currently in prison?
Yes.
She's currently in prison. Well, which one is that? Is that which sibling is that? Which girl? Which sister?
My sister, the one that's attorney.
But what is the other one's an attorney for, you said, for the state of New York?
Yes.
Is that the one or the other one?
No, the other one.
The other one. The one that's an attorney for the state of New York. Is she still doing that?
Yes.
Okay. And your brothers, are they still in police work and the Air Force?
Yes.
Okay. So you grew up with these siblings. They went into all of those different things, and you kind of went into the family. What did you do for what did you do for the family business? What was your role?
My role was in charge of real estate development.
And tell me a little bit about what that means.
Real estate development in taking, doing big projects, building big buildings, um, involved a lot in housing in different parts of the community.
Okay. So what level of education do you have?
I had 12th grade.
I'm sorry, you had what?
12th grade.
12th grade. Did you go to college?
No.
No. So your learning was on the job training, right?
Yes.
So how many years had after school, after you finished your schooling, how many years had you been working in that business until your parents passed away?
You total 5 years.
So let me. Okay, sorry about that. 5 years. Okay, so 5 years, and then so you have the situation. Your siblings are off doing their thing. You're working for your mom and dad. You're developing real estate properties from scratch. Is that the idea that you were
Yes.
developing from scratch? Now, after 9/11, did you continue to do this work?
Yes.
Okay. Are you doing it today?
No.
Okay. Why aren't you doing it today?
Because of health issues, and I want to go back to work, but too many things are stopping me.
Let's talk about those things that are stopping you. Tell us about those things that are stopping you.
Well, I received a lot of discrimination. I received a lot of bad influence from people that I never expected it. But I guess that's life, and life has to go on.
Okay, so tell me about the discrimination. What form of discrimination did it take against you? What happened?
Because when people tell me they have worked with people that have millions of dollars, and when they see my portfolio, they get stunned and, oh, Nelson, I can't believe that you have all that money and the way that you're living. You don't even have a car. You don't even have food in the refrigerator. Somebody has to go buy it for you. I received, that's only one part. And the other part is, if you take a good look at me, yes, I am handicapped, but I'm still a human being. And people just don't understand, or they act stupid, or they are stupid, I don't know. But what difference does it make if I'm Latino and have money? I've had I've had people from all walks of life. I had one person tell me at one time, at one time, why you driving an old car, Nelson, with the money that you have? So I responded, why do I need a new car to go and see you?
You're frugal. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Because there are people that have money like me. Yeah, they drive the Lamborghini and Porsches and everything, but people don't understand. They get things twisted. They think I don't have property. I don't have an estate. I don't have anything.
And how do you feel about that? How does it make you feel?
Sometimes it makes me feel good so people can leave me the hell alone. But sometimes when a person tells me, okay, Nelson, you don't have a pot to piss on. But then when I show up at their doorstep again, a totally different person, then they come to their senses. And then they apologize. Oh, nothing, I'm sorry, I misjudged you, blah, blah, blah. I've been misjudged so many times, it's not even funny. I've been misleaded and misjudged and taken advantage of, even people that say they love me, they care for me, and the only thing they care about is Nelson's checkbook, and then when Nelson can't give it to them right away, they either walk away or they start announcing on Facebook, oh, Nelson is this, oh, Nelson's a faggot, Nelson's this, Nelson's a motherfucker, he can't pay, this and this, this and that. But that's the way people are. People tell me they buy me a gallon of milk. They buy me a gallon of milk, and then the next day when I don't have it to repay them as yet, oh, Nelson, you're a bitch. Oh, Nelson, your bank account is high and you can't afford the gallon of milk. Okay. But again, it's not me, okay? I'm stuck in the legal system that I can't control.
Okay. So, you've been experiencing this discrimination for a long time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And
I had to take someone. I got real pissed off at that person. I told him, jump in your car, I'll jump in mine. I asked them, have you ever seen a mansion before? Have you ever seen a butler's room, a maid's room? Okay. Have you ever tasted caviar? Have you ever tasted lobster? Have you ever walked in to a room that sits 200 to 300 people in a house? With the theater, with music, with everything. He said, no, that's only for rich people. So I said, well, get your ass in that car. I'm going to take you to show you my home.
and is that what your house was like?
It still is.
It still is. And your house is in Queens, right? Okay.
I had 27 properties. I just bought a few more properties in New York, so my number of properties that I own in New York, paid cash, everything for it is number 32.
Okay. So, just remember this for me. You can keep it rolling. We definitely want to get pictures of him, like at the World Trade Center memorial. We want to get pictures of you or video of you outside your childhood home, this home that you're talking about. Okay, because that would be very effective. We want to get pictures. We want to get video of you in New York, maybe walking towards the World Trade Center area, maybe talking a little bit even as you're walking about what it feels like to kind of relive that experience. So these are the kinds of things, as I'm talking to you, things that come to mind that will be effective to show while you're giving your story. Okay, um, let's do this. Let's turn the recording off. How are you feeling? Okay, so when did your parents set up the trust?
The trust was set up for me when I turned 30 years old.
Were you the only one that would be the beneficiary for the trust?
Yes.
And approximately how much was the trust worth when they set it up?
The trust was worth when the day they set it up, they set up a $2 million trust for me. But now, then it went to 98 million. Okay. Now the trust is worth now the trust is worth 5,075,74,1,890,000,000.
So, and I think you sent me a screenshot of that at some point. Yeah. Can I see that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to read those numbers.
Oh, is it okay if I look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you see the numbers?
Yeah.
What is that number?
Trillion? Not trillion.
Uh,
Sorry, I don't even, even though I just graduated.
That's 575 billion,
Oh, billion, yeah.
741,890,000. And this is all, okay, so how did it get, how did we get from 2 million all the way up there? You know?
Because I've been getting a lot of interest. A lot of more investment's been coming in.
Now, so the trust was set up and you were the sole beneficiary.
Correct.
Why were you the sole beneficiary?
That's the way my parents and their attorneys wanted it.
Okay. And while you obviously had this trust, you've also had other businesses and of your own. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Tell us a little bit about your history with your own businesses.
Because I still have 2 nightclubs in New York. I have them closed down temporarily. I have 5 restaurants. And 1 investment firm.
Okay. Are you involved at all in any kind of the operations of any of these?
Yes, in the investment brokerage.
In the investment brokerage. And do you have an office, employees?
Yes, my main office is in New York, and I have a total of 575 employees.
How many?
575.
Employees.
Mm-hmm.
And how often are you there at the office?
I'm there 3 times a month.
Can we turn that off, do you think? Just turn the volume down so we don't hear that.
It's gonna sound anyway. Let me take it up to me.
Okay.
I don't even know where my phone is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm about
Siri,
to go out
FaceTime
here.
Mom.
I'm going outside. I'll be back in. I would like to go outside.
Sorry.
That's fine, thank you. So, okay, so you said about 3 times a month?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sorry. Now, so you have this trust. Do you have access to the trust?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about are you involved in any lawsuits?
No.
No. And do your siblings try to make a claim against your trust?
Yes.
And what's happening with that?
That's on standstill right now.
And what have they tried to do?
They tried to take me as an incompetent person that I can't handle my money.
Why would they say that? Obviously your brain is perfectly fine. Why would they say that?
Greed.
Great. So it has nothing to do with really, except the fact that you have a disease.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a disease, but that has not affected your brain or your mental capacity. I mean, you've quoted numbers to me, you've quoted things to me. Obviously, your brain is functioning perfectly.
Correct.
Right. So are they basing this solely on your physical condition?
Yes.
Have you had representation to fight that?
Yes.
And so so tell us what's going on? What's going on now?
I'm not allowed to discuss the case during the interview, but I was told just to say concerning the case that it's on a standstill.
And your siblings have hired attorneys to try to. What
Yeah.
what are they trying to do? Are they trying to take it away from you completely?
Mm-hmm.
How is it possible for you to move the funds from the trust into your own personal investment account? Well, you have an investment firm. Isn't there a way for you to protect yourself on that?
Yes. And my money is fully protected.
Your money's fully protected. Okay. So at this point, you have this enormous trust, which obviously has a lot of money in it. What are you going to do with all that money?
I have no idea yet.
What's your dream?
My dream is to open a homeless shelter, a homeless community, where it's away from the regular community. It's just them, house them in their own apartment, give them, make sure they have guidance. I want to open up a emergency room within the community, 2 supermarkets, so that way they won't have to worry about anything.
Is there anything hindering you or stopping you from doing that?
Yes, the changing.
Rolling.
Okay, we're rolling. Okay, so we have to go back through some of this again. So, Nelson, tell us when this trust was established.
When I turned 30.
Okay, and were you the sole beneficiary of the trust?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how much was the trust worth?
The trust was worth back then 2 million, then 98 million. Now it's worth 5 billion.
And what year was the trust established?
I think it would. Oh Lord.
That's okay. We don't need to have to actually know the exact date. My question is, why did your parents not include your siblings?
I have no idea. No idea.
Were you living with your parents when they passed away?
No.
Okay. So you were out of the house. Were all of your other siblings out of the house as well?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was on their own.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing your thing. You running these real estate businesses, development businesses. They were off doing their other things. And your parents set up this trust. It was basically everything that they owned?
Yes.
Okay. And so you have this trust, the money grows. That happened back in, and you received the benefit of that after they passed away, I'm assuming.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what were the years?
Come in. Come here, hon. Hon.
I'm coming. Where's your car key? They're about to leave the office and the lady never called us.
Oh my God. And the license is there? Jesus Christ. Do we both have to go?
I'm not sure.
Oh God.
Baby, you might have to go. Baby, you might have to go. I don't know where my wallet is. Is it in the office?
Could you hang out for 15 minutes while I go pick up the marriage license.
Okay. All right. Sure. Oh, wait. Did we get some of the? We did get some of this when we put the new battery in. We got some, right? Before he
It
left.
was a bit about like, just a bit more about the trust fund.
Okay.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's talk about what were the years between when your mom and dad died and when you were diagnosed? What was going on during those years? And you obviously had money, and was the money readily available to you at that time?
Yes.
Okay, so what were those? So there must have been. So they passed away in 2011, and you said you were diagnosed 5 years ago. So what happened during those years?
I was working, I was living a good life. A good, rich life.
And what is that? And describe for us, what does that mean? A good rich life.
I was going on vacations every month. I was going on my father's boat. Shopping, office, everything.
Okay. So when the Parkinson's hit, how much did it change right away?
It took me between a couple of months to a year.
Is there any way to stop that noise? Do you have just like a silent button on your?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, so what made you want to do this now? What made you want to tell your story now? What was the motivating factor for that?
Because of the way they treat me, the way I'm still being treated, I think the world has to know.
Has to know what?
Has to know that just because you mistreat someone, it has to keep going and going and going. I want to put a stop to it.
Have you thought about? And I'm just asking this. Have you thought about taking some of that money and towards Parkinson's research?
Yes,
Have you done that?
yes.
Good. That's great. Great.
I donated $2 million to
You did.
the cause.
To what? What was the organization that you donated to?
They, I donated it to the Parkinson's Foundation.
Parkinson's Foundation. Okay, that's great. And is there any like do you see a light at the end of the tunnel for the disease? Is there any kind of hope that this will be? Sounds like my
Nelson,
granddaughter.
Sí, mijo, dime.
¿cómo te fue? ¿Cómo te fue?
Todavía me están entrevistando.
¿Todavía están ahí?
Sí, mijo, sí.
Bueno, entonces está bien, pues entonces yo lo dejo. Yo me tuve que venir porque me salió algo de emergencia y me tuve que venir para la casa.
Ah,
Yo le
ok.
comenté a tu esposa, ¿oíste?
Ujú.
Ahorita, ¿puedo ir por allá más tarde para hablar sobre el trabajo?
Hoy no, mijo,
¿Mm?
que hoy estoy ocupado. Después que ellos se vayan, necesito empezar a cocinar y a preparar la comida para mañana.
Bueno, pero entonces, bueno, ya está bien, yo no lo voy a molestarlo más, pero ya, seguro para el jueves ir para allá, sí, seguro, ya.
Ay, sí, mijo, sí, Dios mío.
Bueno, entonces estamos hablando por ahí el lunes. Yo mañana llego allá a su casa con mi esposa, yo.
Ok. ¿Y
Bueno, pues entonces ahí
el
quedamos.
amigo
Chao.
también viene?
Sí, lo voy a llevar, a tu amigo lo voy a llevar, a mi amigo, sí.
Ok, ok. Bye.
Bueno, Nelson, entonces quedo atento para el jueves para que me lleve para allá, ¿oyó?
Ay, Dios.
También.
Ok, bye.
Bueno, pues nos vemos mañana a las 5 de la tarde. Chao.
Ujú.
Que esté bien.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about home life. Were you married before?
No.
This is your first marriage. So how did you meet April?
Actually, I met her at the checkout counter at Walmart.
Was she a checkout lady?
She didn't work there, but I did check her out.
Oh, you did check her out, but she didn't work there.
Mhm.
Gotcha. And so you started dating.
Mhm.
How long have you been dating?
We've been dating now for about 4 months.
4 months. Okay. And how many children does she have?
4.
Four. They all look pretty old. Are they all adults?
No.
No. Okay. They look old. They just look old. So how does it feel to become a sort of a stepdad at your age and with 4 pretty grown teenagers?
I love it.
You love it. Okay. And are you all going to stay here in this house?
No.
Okay. So where are you going to go?
She's going to live in her house until we're fully ready to live together.
Really? And why is that?
I'd rather keep it that way.
You'd rather keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how do the kids feel about this arrangement?
Feel fine.
Yeah. Okay. And you're good with each of them.
Mm-hmm.
You're developing a relationship to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Thank you.
It's a tough thing to do at when you're older, only because it's hard making those the older we get, the harder the transitions are. So I understand that. How are you doing?
Good.
You doing good? Okay. You getting tired?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just wrap this up with what's your dream? What's your dream? What do you want to see happen? What's your dream? I mean, I understand the part about people, they discriminate against you and all of that, but forget about them for a minute. What's your dream? What would you love to see happen with your life?
My dream is to become more successful and a strong man to put up with what I'm putting up with.
But in terms of your philanthropy, you've given money to the Parkinson's. You've talked about developing this housing for homeless people. Where does all that stand? Where does all that fit into your plans now?
I can't answer that question yet.
Okay, and that's because just for my benefit, without it being on the record.
It's I want my building. I want to help the immigrants, no matter who they are, what they are. I want them to have their own community, schools and community, a hospital there, everything.
Okay. Good. That's fantastic. All right. We're going to stop recording now. Okay. And we have some good information. The next time we meet, we're going to take a trip to New York, and we'll do some things there. And I'll probably even do some short questions on the fly as we're in New York. Okay.